What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. And if you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this podversation. I wanted to share a clip of a great interview, my personal opinion. I'm going to put the link to the full interview in the description box. It's from the Comedyhype YouTube channel. I'm subscribed to their channel, and I honestly think it's just amazing, the growth of the channel, because I remember when I subscribed, they didn't have that many subscribers, and now they're close to 1 million subscribers. So that's honestly incredible. I want to say when I subscribed, they may have had maybe close to 10,000 subscribers. So when I say from when I subscribed, which wasn't very long ago, to now being at almost 1 million, that really is incredible. And they do a lot of great commentary over there, but they did a really great interview with Tasha K. And I'm not even gonna lie, I just was, when I was listening to it, and for those of you who have been here with me for a minute now on my platform, you know that it's, for me, just sharing my views and opinions about things that are out there. I'm not here to have anyone agree with me or to say I was right or whatever, but it is refreshing. I will not lie. It is refreshing when I hear someone confirm thoughts that I've already shared. And so sometimes when I get the opportunity to get content like that, just to share it with you guys, I enjoy it. So when I heard Tasha K speaking about Shannon Sharpe, not because she came on there to trash him or bash him or anything like that, but she was asked questions about him because, again, it was an interview. So she was being asked questions, and it was actually an interview. I was like, this is exactly what I have this is exactly what I have been saying. So I just wanted to share this because I want to say, okay, going back to February, I think it was February the 16th, I did some commentary. It was on Shannon Sharpe, and it was, the title of it was Shannon and Mike Squash Beef. This was about Mike Epps. Shannon does care if he's called gay and breaks from stylist. Now, I did that commentary back on February the 16th. I did another commentary on the 21st of February. It was titled Mace Checks Shannon Sharpe for his sassy clapback of his commentary. And then another one on the 20th of February, Shannon Sharpe and his clapbacks, separates from stylist because he said, quote, he's loyal, what this is really about. So again, I'm giving you a bit of, and forgive me guys because it's early in the morning, so if I don't have all of my words together, it's not because I'm slow, it's because it's early. But I'm giving you, a little bit of the reasons as to why I wanted to share a little bit of this interview from the Comedyhype YouTube channel when they interviewed Tasha K, because she was mentioning some of the things that I had said, and I'm like, this is exactly what I've been talking about. Because when it comes to Shannon Sharpe, this is the thing. I really think it's ridiculous when people who are responding to others that are giving commentary on someone to say that they're a hater just because they're not going along to get along, or they're not with the majority of people that are just going to say, oh yeah, he's doing an amazing job. But is he really doing an amazing job, or is he just someone that has had the opportunity to have a really large platform? And people talk about this viral quote interview when, in my personal opinion, I don't even really feel like it was an interview. I don't care if Shannon had cue cards with questions on them and he asked Cat Williams questions. Cat Williams came in guns a-blazing, okay? So all of the things that Cat Williams said, a lot of those things he said were things that he had already said before. Some of the things, of course, were things that was like, oh, wow, he went there. But if he had done what he did, or not even done what he had did, if he had said what he had said on his own Instagram or whatever social media platforms he uses, and the right outlets got a hold to it and shared it, it would have went viral regardless. So it really had nothing to do with Shannon Sharpe. And a lot of why Cat Williams's quote unquote interview went viral on the Shannon Sharpe platform is because of the previous interviews, or not even so much interviews, but the previous guests that Shannon Sharpe had on his clubshayshay podcast. And so he came to respond to those things that were said and those people, by the likes of Steve Harvey, that Shannon Sharpe says is his friend, by the likes of Cedric the Entertainer, just to name a few. So I do believe that a lot of people give Shannon Sharpe a whole lot more credit than he deserves, but I'm not here to take anything away from him either. Have at it. But it is a bit annoying at this point when he is always having a clapback, and that's one of the reasons why I talked about him before in a couple of my podcasts when I was just talking about his clapbacks, because it's like, N-word, every time somebody comes out and says something about you or some critique or some commentary, he has to have a clapback. It's looking a bit suspect. And I'm not here to be one of those people that is labeling someone as gay just because of things that they do or things that they say, but it definitely looks questionable. And it's a lot more questionable when you separate from the stylist that you had that had a reputation of outing someone else that he had been in a closeted relationship with before, and also the fact that some of the things that he does and some of the ways that he moves for some straight men, it does look questionable. And again, if he was to be gay and just came out and said that, I don't think it would take anything away from him. But of course, some people would feel differently. So again, I don't care either way. But most people that are having issues with their masculinity, shall we just, say it like that, and they have these sassy clapbacks all the time, some people would wonder. And I also am aware that we are living in a different day and time now, where a lot of these guys, they get microphones, they get a camera, and they sit around on these sofas and they sit and they just talk about a whole lot of nothing. And so we do see a whole lot more men on camera talking, but that's nothing new. Men have been talking for years. That's why they used to call it barbershop talk, and locker room talk, because when they would go to the barbershop, they would sit and talk about whatever, talk about women, talk about sex, talk about, whatever, talk about Jesus, even if a lot of them don't even go to church. But I'm just saying, they would sit around and talk. So now they're getting cameras and microphones and sofas, and they're sitting around and doing it. But when someone questions Shannon Sharpe's sexuality, or maybe even calls him that, then he's going out there and he's blocking them on social media. Because I've heard a number of people say this about him. Claudia Jordan mentioned that she got blocked by Shannon Sharpe. T.S. Madison got blocked by Shannon Sharpe. That's just to name a couple. And then in this interview, Tasha K talks about some things. So I just want to go ahead and share this portion of the interview. Again, I have the full link in the description box. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this.
I don't think Shannon taking up the ass, but I think he giving. I do.
I'm going to come out the gate, okay? There's a big conversation, or like a repeated conversation that keeps popping up about who's gay in Hollywood.
Oh,
constantly, yeah, just out the gate.
Yeah. I don't know who's gay. I'm not in the bedroom. I know what I'm told. You understand what I'm saying? Right. There's a difference. I ain't seen no in nobody ass. However, when the streets are talking, where there's smoke, there's fire. Definitely think Shannon Sharpe. And it's just like, I've been around a lot of heterosexual men. And comfortable heterosexual men don't need to always defend their heterosexualness. Shannon Sharpe is always upset when somebody's saying that he's gay.
Let me just pause it right there. What did I say? What did I say back in February? And I mean, it's true. Let's just go ahead and continue.
Like, what's wrong? Even if you were or weren't gay, what's wrong with people labeling you gay? Like, is it that bad? Why does it hurt you?
I think that's why I wanted to kind of open it up, because it seems like, particularly in our community, that's like a thing. Like, I got you. Like,
that's a Hollywood thing. Not in the black community, but that's a Hollywood thing. So when you in Hollywood and you able to make it up certain ladders and you got a heavy tongue and a lisp, we asking questions.
Got you. Got you. So you think it's the fact that he's associated with the industry?
Yeah.
You don't think it's the fact that he's wearing like tight jogger suits, he has a small dog, you know.
The shade from...
I'm just...
I love it.
I'm just asking questions, though. Yeah.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. I had to pause it for a moment. I did not catch that. I did not catch that before. And the interview said it's not because he wears tight jogging suits and he has a small dog. a small dog. Like, okay, does every straight man have to have a Rottweiler? Or a pit bull? I'm sorry. I just caught that. That was shade. Okay.
Cool. No, absolutely. And, you know, about maybe a year and a half ago, you know, somebody put me on, very strong source in the industry, onto a stylist that Shannon Sharpe had, right?
Right.
And, you know, they was just like, please just take a look at this stylist that he has with him that goes everywhere. I have never seen an artist travel with the stylist. Normally they order clothes, if it's for events, but for a stylist to follow you everywhere to the point where they're dressing you morning, noon, and night for every show that you do, and they're sitting courtside with you at every damn basketball game as if you Tasha K or Gucci Mane. And this particular stylist, shout out to the Hollywood Mugler, because that's why he got his comments off, because he would put up videos of him with Shannon, and he would always be focused on Shannon's crotch area or ass area. Like, these are facts. And this same stylist was exposed for exposing another NFL player for being down low. And so Shannon got this stylist everywhere that he goes, flying private to every party. The stylist hits me. He was like, Tasha, how did I get in the group chat? You know how you got in the group chat, the Hollywood Mugler. You doing more than styling. You styling your man. That's what it looks like. You know, we ended up putting that out, and Shannon Sharpe blocked me. I said, but Shannon, like, what man do you see going dressed down with a stylist to the point where your stylist has on jewelry that you know he can't afford on a stylist's salary? Like, this is jewelry that, like, Floyd Mayweather would give, like, his hoes. So it's like, where is he getting this jewelry? Where is he getting these expensive clothes? You see what I'm saying?
Did someone not say they were related, though?
They're not related. Okay. Everybody calls Shannon Sharpe Unc. So he's like, that's my nephew. But when I put out that story, and he gets on like, I can't stand that Tasha K with that heavy-ass tongue. Tongue so heavy, he can't eat no if he tried. Now, when he said that, he ended up firing the stylist all of a sudden. Because it's obvious that you're using this as a cover-up. And why do you get so irritated when people call you gay? Right. People call me a lesbian all the time. Right. Do I care?
Right.
I don't give a
Right.
All right, pausing it right there. So, going back to the commentary that I gave in February, where I talked about him separating from his stylist, and then he said he separated from him and let him go because he's loyal to the previous stylist that he had, which was a woman. Does that make sense to anybody? I mean, really, does that make sense to anybody? And then for him to come out with the sassy clapback and say he can't stand Tasha K, but then if it didn't mean anything, then why did you let go of the stylist? Like, if that stylist was so good to the point where you're taking the stylist to the games with you, and Tasha K mentioning he's wearing jewelry that was so expensive, there's no way that he would be able to afford that. So who gave it to him, right? It's questionable.
I suck every night night and every morning, and that's nobody's business what I'm doing. But it doesn't bother me just because people want to label me a certain way.
Right.
Because I am, even though I'm not of the industry, I'm associated with the industry. Right. So of course that comes with the stigma.
Comes with the territory.
Right. That, you know, we just free with our sexuality. But I'm a very conservative woman, but I notice he gets bothered to the core. Bothered, just like Meek Mill out here screaming, I'm not gay no more.
So, in transparency, in my process of building this, I had the gay rumor on me.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, due to Corey Holcomb. And that was due to some of the questions I was asking.
But Corey Holcomb likes his ass played with, according to his wife, his soon-to-be ex-wife. And that's the reason why they not together now, is because she would refuse to lick his ass or put her fingers in his ass. I wouldn't do it to Corey Holcomb. All them keloids he got growing on his head, his penal shaft and But get that white bitch Rita G to lick your ass.
Oh, gosh. I could do without that visual.
This is bombing.
This is giving me like Cat Williams vibes on the Club Shay-Shay. Now we can go to, you know, address Corey. I kind of want to keep opening up with Shannon Sharpe.
Yeah.
Now I had a question for I had an interview with Sean Conn. He was Richard Pryor's bodyguard, and we talked about Paul Mooney.
Right.
Paul Mooney had a little bit of rumors. He never came out. And Richard Pryor's bodyguard was saying, you know what, if he would have came out, then he would have, like, it would have, like, now in today's time, would have amplified his career as, like, you know, this gay comedian that's black, but, because now it's more acceptable.
Right.
But I would ask you, kind of in Shannon's case, because it does seem to be a conversation, are you not? Do you think he should hide his sexuality?
No. There's a lot of money to be made in the LGBTQ community. He can get those checks, too. He can cross over.
But he's a football player too, so I think,
and that would take the stigma off a lot of football players. I have football players begging me, please don't put out stories because these trans women are exposing them. It depends on where they sitting on the bench. So if nobody knows them on the bench, I pass it up. If you on the field, we going live.
Oh gosh, but think about it. Do you really believe that there are no gay football players? I mean, it's just sports overall. And how big that would be if Shannon were to just come out of the closet and say, you know what, this is something I've been struggling with for years. Or even take the middle ground and I'm not gay, I'm bi. You know, like, I'm whatever. Or, you know, these different titles that people have these days. I don't know all that stuff, so forgive me or whatever. I don't care. But I'm just saying, a man of his age, though, he's probably set in his ways, and not only just set in his ways, but set in the stigma that has been there for years about being gay, and not just being gay, but being gay and being in sports. But he used to be a football player. He no longer is. So why not just come out now and, you know, do the little sachet and say, yeah, I'm gay, and I really haven't been comfortable being who I really am in the public, but I just want to be free. And I don't know. I don't know. It could be his religious beliefs, which I have no idea what they are. But I do agree with Tasha. If he is, I feel like he should just come out versus coming out with these sassy clapbacks whenever somebody makes a comment about him or an insinuation or all of these jokes. Like, there were all of these videos that were all over social media, especially on TikTok, of people doing the Shannon Sharpe, where it was him with the tight joggers on and the man bag, getting out of the SUV in front of the Total Wine store to go and promote his new liquor. He has no problem promoting liquor to the African American community. He has no problem promoting gambling to the African American community, which are both terrible. Let's just be real. But he has to stand in the space of being this masculine macho man. And speaking of macho man, we all know what that Macho Man song was about by the group from years ago that had the YMCA song. And forgive me, I don't know why I can't remember the name of the group right now. I know it, but I just can't say it right now. But yeah, macho man doesn't mean that you're straight. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to just comment on that. Let's just go ahead and continue.
Now, as far as Shannon, what have you heard? So he just blocked you and there was ever no...
Yeah, he blocked me because I put that out. I was like, Shannon, okay, let's say this is your personal stylist, which he is styling you.
Right.
Why all the perks? Why does he get backdoor access to games, front row seats next to you?
Right.
He's sitting up next to you. You got a bag, like he is your woman. Jury down.
Well, he just treats his team good, like his team.
Why the other team ain't sitting courtside with him? Why they ain't sitting next to him at parties and in clubs? Why he got phones on Shannon's ass? Now, I don't think Shannon taking up the ass, but I think he giving. I do. That's my personal opinion. And ain't nothing wrong with that. And let's cut the The nigga messy.
Okay.
He's a big... Listen, he calling me messy. I own my messiness. Now you done entered a very messy arena. Now you're being labeled as gay because normally LGBTQ play with these conversations like this. And now you're in these conversations and you're messy. You're arguing with other men. You're defending your gayness. All this like, come on. Heterosexual men, they talk about heterosexual things.
Right. Well, what's interesting, the reason why, just to kind of chime in on, I hope I'm not trying to make Shannon look a certain way, but the reason why I chimed in on it...
The Hollywood Mugler made him look a certain way. That was his personal stylist.
When I did have my rumor that was floating around, I laughed about it with my family. We kind of, like, that was like, it was funny. It was funny to me.
Yeah.
The only time it got interesting was when I just started dating a girl, and I didn't want that to be the first kind of impression. And because, there's a lot of down low men that exist. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to have that.
And you in Atlanta.
Right. So I didn't want to. So that was the only time I got like a concern from me. But, as time went by, as we dated, that wasn't a conversation.
It didn't bother you. Because you know your sexuality. Mm-hmm. You ain't got to defend that shit. Why am I arguing about something that I know that I am?
Yeah. But, maybe, because how old is Shannon? Shannon's got to be over 50.
Yeah, so you should be real comfortable to say whatever the they want to say. He up here flashing money. I made more money than you motherfuckers ever made off my Cat Williams interview. All this shit. Gay niggas talk like that.
Thank you. Or women. Let's just be real. I'm just saying, it's a very, I don't even want to call it feminine, but that was a huge, that put a bad taste in my mouth when I heard that he was doing that, because I really, it's a hard listen for me when it comes to Shannon Sharpe. My husband used to watch him on that show he was on with Skip Bayless, and this was, a while ago, and I was like, how can you watch that? I can't really listen to him. His voice is so annoying. And so I heard when he was talking about how much money he made off of the Cat Williams interview. Who the freak cares? What are you doing with it? What are you doing to help your community? What are you doing to give back? But sitting there bragging about how much money you made off of the Cat Williams interview. How much money did Cat Williams make off of the interview? Because to be honest with you, you really didn't deserve the money. Cat Williams is the one that deserved it because it was Cat Williams's information. It wasn't the questions that were asked. It wasn't like this was some amazing interview, groundbreaking interview. A lot of people give Shannon Sharpe more credit than he deserves for Cat Williams's information that he decided to share on his platform. Because let's just be real, whether Cat Williams shared it on the Shannon Sharpe Shay podcast or on Cat Williams's Instagram, social media, whatever, or wherever he did it, if it got enough shares, it was going to go viral. It had nothing to do with Shannon Sharpe. But a lot of people just give him way more credit than he deserves. And people say, oh, people out here hating on Shannon Sharpe. Get the heck up out of here with that, because it's ridiculous when people think that someone that has gotten so much traction and so much attention is not going to get any critique, and all of the critique is going to be positive. And if the critique is not praising what he did, worshiping what he did, giving him kudos for what he did, or the thing that people love to do nowadays, oh, he's getting to the bag, he's getting to the bag. How is that helping you? How are you increasing your bottom line? What are you doing to increase your, what, the people like to say now, generational wealth, which a lot of people are not doing. A lot of people don't even know what that really means. And the lack thereof of that in the African American community is so ridiculous. So when I hear people praising how much money other people are making, I'm not saying that you should, what they say, hate on it, but I don't think people should be out here praising that either, because it's stuff. And as quick as somebody can get it is as quick as somebody can lose it as well. You never know what tomorrow brings. So I did feel that was a very sassy thing to do when he was talking about how much money he made off of the Cat Williams interview.
He's 55 years old.
55, and you still ain't comfortable with who you are. You shouldn't worry about what nobody say about you, but he get tired.
But I mean, in reality, because the last time we talked,
yes,
we talked about therapy.
Right.
So I'm looking at Shannon, I've seen him flex his muscles on camera. I'm wondering if there's like those things, some baggage that we're dealing with that he may not have been able to explore yet.
What you mean, like trauma?
Therapy, like maybe was picked on. It may not have to be a gay thing. Maybe just like insecurities.
I mean, everybody got insecurities. We all do. Mm-hmm. But when you in this level in the game, insecurities go out the door. You ain't listening. You gotta fix as you go.
My question is, since you are blocked by Shannon for right now, what would you tell him in case he's like a watcher of Comedy Hype?
Not a goddamn thing. Keep up the great work. Be you. Go, nigga, go.
Well, you heard it. That is just one part of the interview, but I really wanted to focus on that part, and I would really love to hear what you guys think about it. I agreed with a lot of what she said when it came to Shannon Sharpe, and it was, again, like I said, refreshing to just hear some of the things that she had said that I had already touched on over a month ago. And I do believe a lot of people agree with that, but because it's not the popular opinion, it's not the praise and worship of Shannon Sharpe, who did this amazing Cat Williams interview that got 500 million views. And I'm exaggerating, but I'm just saying, people, they just put so much hype and focus on views and how much money somebody made off of a video on YouTube or whatever. It's like, those things are cool, but I mean, honestly, they're not the most important things in the world. And yeah, as I sit here talking about Shannon Sharpe and Tasha K, I'm just basically saying there's just so many more important things that are going on in the world. There's so many more things that are just like crazy that are going on. And I'm going to be touching on more topics like that because it's important for people to just be aware of the things that are going on that you may not even know about, just for the sake of knowing and being aware, and maybe it could help somebody else. But Shannon Sharpe and his views on people that have a view on him possibly being gay and blocking people on social, like, to go to that extent when you have the amount of followers that you have and you're making the amount of money that you make, like, seriously, why do you even go to that extent to block these people? Let them see you, quote unquote, win or be great, if that's what you feel like you are and that's what you feel like you're doing, versus going on there and blocking them. Because in my personal opinion, especially these days, when people go to the extent of blocking someone like that, like him, of course people are going to still see they're still going to see your stuff on social media if they care to see it. They have other accounts that they could use, or somebody else is just going to share it with them. So they're still going to see. So just don't even block them. Let them see you win if you feel like you're winning. So to me, that in itself, it showcases an insecurity. And yeah, we all have insecurities, but it could be because he is of a certain age at this point in time. And a lot of times when people get to a certain age, it is hard for them to change. So for him to come out at this stage to say, I'm not straight no more, or I never have been, or I was questioning if I really was, and I just really figured out at this point in time where I am in life that, yeah, I am gay, or I am bi, because of where he's from and the upbringing that he's had and all of this other stuff, it could possibly be that that's just where he is stuck, and he will go to the grave never admitting that. And again, I'm just saying what a lot of people believe and our opinions are of what he is. I'm not saying that he is, but I'm saying that it appears to be that way, and he gives off a lot of that type of energy with the actions that he takes. You know what I mean? It would be one thing if he was just silent about it. He never even spoke about it, because when someone's constantly calling you something and you don't say anything about it, eventually it'll die down. People will still have their thoughts and opinions of you, but to come out and, you know, say, I don't care about the gay rumors, well, that means you do. So why are you always talking about it, you know? But anyway, let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section, guys. Thanks so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye. Don't wanna talk, don't wanna see, don't wanna feel it. What is left?